now do Chumash for Tuesday, Shlishi, the third Aliyah, in the Chayenu, page 18, chapter 9, verse 1, Pasuk Aleph. And now we're talking the famous story of this Pesach Sheni. Vaydaber Shlomo Midbar Sinai, Hashem's the Moshe in the Sinai desert. B'Shana Sheni is in the second year. The Tzeis and Tzrayim of their leaving the land of Egypt. B'Chodesh Rishon, the second year, first month, second year, the following, saying the following. Rashi. Allah B'Chodesh Rishon. Pash Shebresh Hasef LeNemar El Diyar Lamad Shein Sid Mukta Mukta Batera. This parsha, I'm sorry, take it back. The opening parsha of the book of Bamidbar, of the book of Numbers, which is the census, that actually was said in Iyar, which is later than this, because this is the second year, first month of which the calendar starts from Pesach, Nisan. So this is actually happening first. So it turns out the famous rule, Ein Muktam Uchar Batera. There's no chronology, exact chronology. So, okay. Now, that's a fact, but why? Why would the Torah deviate from that?
Deviate from what?
From the chronology.
Okay.
So the reason is, there's usually a reason. And here it gives the reason Rashi gives, because this story is actually sheds negative light on the Jewish people at that time. Why? Because this is the only time in the 40 years they did a Paschal lamb in the desert. And this is only when they did. Lo yikrivu el Pesach levad. Base.
Out of the 40 years, you're saying once they did the Pesach, right?
Yeah. So we don't want to talk about it because it because why did they do it every year? They're lazy? No, because God didn't tell them to do the rest of the 40 years. Because really the dependent of doing the Paschal lamb was dependent upon them entering the land of Israel. Why they did it here, I'm not sure. Besides this one time, then they didn't end up going to Israel for 40 years. They couldn't do it. It's not their fault, but it is their fault. They shouldn't have sinned and having to not be able to go. Or it could be that since most of the people were uncircumcised, maybe whatever. Moving on, I'm not sure. Base.
Why were we not circumcised? I don't understand.
I thought they did. I thought they did before they left Pesach. They circumcised themselves. Did the Jews?
But why would we even wait? Why would we not?
So it says because the reason why, because traveling is dangerous. So because the surgery.
What do you think Moshe and Zipporah did with Eliezer?
That's kind of that's the reason why he didn't originally, because of the danger of traveling. God was wrong, and then they did it because they were forced to.
I don't understand why we would omit it unless God told us to, for some reasons.
Well, indirectly, God says don't do. For example, a baby has jaundice, we don't circumcise.
Right.
My son
Why?
had jaundice, and when we circumcised him, but we didn't know he had jaundice
I'm
actually.
saying, but typically, if you know it, the Torah says delay it, don't
Right.
do it, right?
Right.
Typically, why?
Danger.
Because it's dangerous. So the
Yeah,
danger of
I
life
agree.
overrides
I
it.
agree. I've known about cases like months had that, right? Okay.
So my
But
point I'm
still, why
saying
would it
is,
be
you're
dangerous
asking
for
why they.
everybody? 3 million
It
people
says,
there.
okay, so the answer is like this: that okay answers the question. Just seeing online. So all the Jews who were, I think, alive as they left Egypt did do a circumcision. We saw it by your blood, by your blood shall live is referring to the blood of the circumcision and of the Paschal lamb. Um, one second.
It came from God, so it had to come from God. That reason, for whatever the reason was.
Long discussion here. Okay. Some say that they did the partial circumcision, didn't do the full thing. Whatever the case is, they didn't do a full circumcision on the newborn children. The problem with that is that then I believe every family, the father that has a son who's not circumcised, I don't think he can have the past. Even the father can't have it. I forget. I think it messes up the whole thing for the family. If there's a child that's not circumcised, I don't think the father's allowed to. The point is, though, is that there have been a lot of Jews who did not have circumcision, and therefore they couldn't do the Paschal lamb. And the reason why was maybe the best of intentions. It was dangerous on the way, so they were going to push it off till they got to the land of Israel. But the bottom line is they couldn't have the Paschal lamb and be uncircumcised.
Rabbi, can you explain a partial bris?
There's two parts of a bris.
Right.
There's mila,
Right.
which is cutting off the skin, and then there's a priya, which is like the more thinner membrane.
Okay.
So they didn't do, according to the second one, yeah, which is I don't know. I'm not an expert on Mila.
Okay.
But the bottom line is many of them could not have had the Paschal lamb, therefore it wasn't done. Okay, except this one time, which was pre the decree of not going to the land of Israel. So the children of Israel shall carry out the service of the Paschal lamb at its appointed time. It says Rashi, at its appointed time, but moedah means even a state of impurity. On the 14th day of this month in the afternoon, you shall carry out its service at its appointed time. Should carry out its service according to its laws and its regulations. So when we know this, you do the Erev Pesach, and in the afternoon, you do it with all the laws. Rashi. What are all the laws? Mechukosav. These refer to the mitzvahs that pertain to the sacrifice itself. Set tamim zachar ben shana. Meaning what type of animal? Perfect, unblemished, male, first year. According to all its regulations, is the things you do with it on top of that animal. For example, you have to have 7 days of matzahs, and you can't have chametz. The Ramban, interesting why they put this here. The Ramban is a different version of Rashi. The Ramban is a different version of Rashi. He says what it means mitzvahs begufay, with the body, it means the unblemished part of the body is unblemished, male, 1 year. The mitzvahs that are al gufay, that are done with the body of the sacrifice, that's referring to the fact that you roast it. So the cooking mechanism that's with the body, on the body, is roasting, can't be boiling. Also, that has to be roasted, its head with its feet, I guess, and its kishkes. Then there's something called shechutz l'gufay. Then there's like the body of the sacrifice, paschal lamb, what's on the body, referring to the cooking mechanism. And then there is outside the body, external, but done with the body, the matzah and the removal of chametz. Because those are really nothing to do with the body. It's a precondition that you do with the paschal lamb.
Mm-hmm.
Dalid, Vaydaber Moshe b'nei Yisrael l'aseh Pesach. So Moshe said to the children of Israel to do the Pesach sacrifice. Rashi, Moshe told them, why are you telling us this? Doesn't it already say in Vayikra 23:44 that Hashem, that Moshe spoke to them all the holidays of Hashem, which included the Paschal Lamb? Why would he have to say it again? Rather, that when he heard the festivals at Sinai, he exhorted them at the time of the practice. Hey. They carry out the service of the Pesach sacrifice in the Sinai desert in the first month, on the 14th day of the month. In the afternoon, in the Sinai desert. Like everything Hashem commanded Moshe, so did the children of Israel do. Okay, they did it. Now comes to the plot of our story. It happened that there were men who were impure through the bones of a human corpse and were thus unable to carry out the service of the Pesach sacrifice on that day. And so they came forward before Moshe, for Aaron on that day. So these people were disqualified because they were impure. Rashi, they came for Moshe and Aaron. They came for Moshe and Aaron when they were sitting in the study hall, in the base medrash. They came and they asked them, what do we do? It can't be they came to Moshe, then to Aaron, because if Moshe doesn't know, how's Aaron going to know? So it means they came together. I guess Moshe and Aaron were chavrusas.
Wow.
Maybe. I think they were. Zion, my love, these men said to Moshe, we are impure to the bones of a human corpse. Lama nigadam. Why should we be deprived the vilti hakriv of bringing the offering? It's karban Hashem b'mayadai. Why should we be deprived of bringing the offering of the Hashem at its appointed time? Among the rest of the children of Israel. Why should we be deprived of bringing the Paschal Lamb to God, the sacrifice of God, with the rest of our brethren? Rashi, Lamanigar, why should we be deprived? They said, he told them, holy sacrifices cannot be brought if you're impure. You're impure, you can't do it. By the way, they're impure because I think they were carrying the bones of Yosef. They said, let the blood be splashed upon us by pure priests by day, and they'll eat the meat by night. I believe it was 7 days since they had carried it, so they were technically, they were like, the next day they'd be pure. Just let them, people do it on our behalf, and then we'll eat it by night. So he says, wait, I'll ask God. So Moshe is like a student who's assured of hearing from his teacher. Praised is one born of a woman who is thus assured, for whenever he wished he could speak with the divine presence, he did it, he could speak to Hashem. So wait a moment. This section was fitting to have been said by Moshe, just like the rest of the Torah. This is one of the 613, the fact of the Pesach Sheni. They have a second makeup day for the Paschal Lamb. So, but why did Moshe not know it till someone asked it? These people have the merit of the ones of being the catalyst for how this law was given, because of, it says, merits are brought through the meritorious.
This is originator,
I guess. Yud. Ches. Moshe said to them, Imdu be'eshma. Wait now, I will, let me hear. Hashem will command regarding your situation. Test. Vaydaber Hashem. Hashem is saying, Yodabra b'nei Yisrael le'emar, speak the children of Israel, saying, Ish, any man, ki yatam le'navish, if any man is impure to the bones of a corpse, if any man is impure to the bones of a corpse, or is on a journey of some distance, or here's the law. If anybody is impure by touching a corpse, or they're on a faraway journey, or whether for you or for your generations this happens, he can carry the Pesach lamb as follows. Rashi. Someone's away, either impure or they're on a faraway journey. Derech Rechaika has a Pesach David favorite as a dot. Choka has a dot on top of the hay. Doesn't have to mean far like in China. It can mean you're just beyond the threshold of the Azara during the entire time of slaughtering. Meaning, yeah, I got it. So even if the guy didn't go, it sounds like even if he was like did it on purpose. He didn't go. He still has a makeup date. On Pesach, yeah, it sounds like. I have to double check. The second Pesach, it says matzah v'chametz. Pesach Sheni, you can have matzah and chametz. You can have chametz. It's not a holiday, and there's no forbidden chametz there. Right? You can even eat it. Oh, I'm sorry. When you eat the Paschal lamb, you can't have bread. But there are those that wonder with the Rashi. You can have bread in your fridge, but you can't eat it with the second Paschal lamb. I don't know. But those are question Rashi. It's interesting. On the second month of the 14th day, which is Iyar, Yudal and Iyar, they make it. They eat it with the Paschal lamb with matzah samar. Yud Beis same thing. You can't leave it to the morning. You can't break any bones. Like all the laws of the Paschal lamb, number 1, you do this one as well. Gimel. And however, man who is pure and not on a journey. So it sounds like the way the guy is in the temple and he doesn't do it, then he can't do it. He doesn't do it. He refrains from doing the Paschal lamb, but the first one. Then that person gets cut off. For the sacrifice of Hashem was not brought. He didn't bring it at its appointed time. That man will bear the consequences of his sin. If a convert dwells among you, he shall also make the Paschal lamb, like all the laws, like you do, he does. One law should be for you, and for the convert, and both for converts and for native-born Israelites of the land. You might have thought this means that if you become a Jew, you convert, then you got to bring, in February, you got to bring a Paschal lamb. You might have thought that's what it means. Maybe because, since you're going through the becoming Jewish process, maybe it mirrors the Jews when they became Jews by Egypt, and they had to bring a Paschal lamb, right? Maybe it's like, we know for conversion, according to the Code of Jewish Law and the Rambam, is what are the things that are needed. So one is acceptance of the mitzvahs, right? Like the same way, which mirrors, we got the Torah at Mount Sinai. We became Jews because we accepted the Torah mitzvahs. So a Gentile who wants to become Jewish has to accept the Torah mitzvahs.
Mm-hmm.
We, before Sinai, had a circumcision. So if it's a male, they need a circumcision. We went to mikvah before. A convert needs to have a mikvah. We also then, I believe, we brought a sacrifice then, not Paschal lamb, by Sinai. And therefore, indeed, in the times of the temple, a convert would have to bring a special sacrifice. Now, you might extend it further, say, well, once we're doing, Civil War reenactment, we're doing a Jewish day one reenactment by any conversion, then maybe you have to do a Paschal lamb, because that was kind of the beginning of our genesis of people. We brought a Paschal lamb. So the Torah precludes it, but it says, no, it's one law, meaning if they convert in the summer, they don't bring a Paschal lamb till next Pesach. Mm-hmm. So what does it mean then? Then you have to understand what it says. Next page, 23. Rather, this is meaning, when a convert dwells with you, and it comes the time of Pesach with his new compatriots, then it's all the same laws. So it's telling you that don't think that a convert, you might think that since the convert isn't biologically related to the ancestors who came out of Egypt, so what's he bringing a Paschal lamb? His ancestors weren't there to be passed over. So why would he bring a commemoration of that? You might think that. So no, he was there because spiritually he was part of the Jewish people. Wow. It just took time for him to physically become Jewish.
Wow.
To do the steps of conversion. Anyways, that